Why do people gravitate toward you?
I would say probably the main thing is my lyricism, the way my mind works, and my out-of-the-box thinking.
Where does this stem from? This out-of-the-box thinking.
I kind of just always felt like I feel like when people programmed or like even like just religion or anything, you almost allowing people to think for you, before you. And I always kind of looked at life like if somebody was to be like, oh, these are your options and there's no other way out of this room. Like I feel like the majority of the world is going to accept that, and it's going to be somebody special that's like, what if I think of a way that they never thought of before to get out of here? You know what I'm saying? I'll be the one that made it out. You know what I'm saying? And I always kind of consider myself as that person. You know what I'm saying? I think the majority of the world is kind of like, you ever know how you like the older brother or the older sibling might go tell the younger sibling when the dad says, hey, take out the garbage. You don't feel like doing this, so you go lie to the younger sibling who hasn't been living as long as you and say, hey, dad said tell you to take out the garbage. Now, the majority of the world, to me, is like that younger sibling, like, okay, I'm going to do it because you said a higher power said do it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can actually whoop my ass or crush me. I can get a whooping from dad. And you go do it. Then you have, every once in a while, really rarely, you'll have that sibling that's like, let me go ask dad myself if he told me to do that. So once that kid goes to ask the dad, and the dad might look at him like he's crazy and doesn't respond to him or just, like God might not answer our prayers or when we talk to him or answer back, and it's just like, at that point, that's when the kid finds out what they're dealing with. Like, I'm dealing with a lying-ass older sibling, so I will never fall for this trick again. You know what I'm saying? Like, all those times I take out the garbage and he really told you, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's what people do, because if the older sibling was like, hey, go take out the garbage, what would the younger sibling say? Nigga, you go take out the garbage. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why are you asking me and you're not doing it? You know what I'm saying? So the tactic with people is, oh, I can scare him with the higher power that has some type of fear of or can crush him or that he respects more. Oh, dad said do it, And I just kind of felt like, you're either that sibling that listens to whatever you're fed, you know what I'm saying, from your older brother that was living before you, or you're the one that's curious enough to go ask questions for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not taking the garbage out because dad didn't tell me to. You know what I'm saying? I actually went and asked him myself, and he didn't even say yes or no. So, basically I would be following your orders as my older sibling, just things like that. But I just look at a lot of shit just different as it is. Like I like to think for myself. And even when I describe my music, I say, I kind of describe it as, I want to inspire people to think for themselves, to be able to put 2 and 2 together and 3 and 3 and stuff like that and be like, oh, now I get it. Or, like I'm making you participate with the music, actually giving you a type of challenge. So it's kind of like almost sometimes like people do word puzzles and it's like that may be fun to them, and it's like when you can do that within your music, allow people to put things together to get a bigger picture or understand, it's like it makes you deeper than the next person. It makes you have more depth, you know what I'm saying? Or more, it brings more, it makes you more mystique, you know what I'm saying? Things like that.
Are you the only one in your immediate family like this that thinks out of the box?
I think I'm the most out of the box. I think everybody has that potential in them, but it's lazier not to be like that, if that makes any sense. It's a lot easier in life to follow rules and directions opposed to people that just don't feel like, I want to figure this out myself. It's like, no, give me the instructions, you know what I'm saying? Or give me the directions, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. People think it's a formula a lot to even just success. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, so all I have to do is sign a deal and then, all my worries are gone. It's like, dude, there's so much more to this life shit than that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people get fucked up at. But I don't know, I just love the mind, the brain, how it works, and that it's limitless boundaries and stuff like that. So I just always feel like, there's really no such thing as like over or thinking too much. You know what I'm saying? I feel like when I think about overthinking, it's like, oh, you may be overthinking something without balance. Like you're thinking too negatively about it. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you got to think about the negative possibilities, but it's like, don't, and sometimes some people could think too positively. Like you just thought this would go in your favor no matter what. You know what I'm saying? You didn't think enough about the negativity, you know? So I just feel like even when I write raps, I feel like a lot of rappers may think of some shit that makes sense. It's like, oh, that makes sense and it rhyme, I'm gonna write that down. When I don't function like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, that can make sense, but I'm not just here to make sense. You know what I'm saying? I want to make this more meaningful. You know what I'm saying? I want this to be more depth. I want people to have something to dig at. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Like, so how can I make this original as possible, or how can I make this as out of the box as I possibly can? You know what I'm saying? How can I put this in a way that has never been put before, or a way that nobody else really thinks? You know what I'm saying? So and it kind of just makes things exciting when you do it that way.
Are you an atheist?
No. I believe in God, the original creator. We call him the Father. I know that, you know what I'm saying? I like to think of him as a he, you know, but I am mindful that he could be a she or just an it, you know what I'm saying? I believe in God. I don't know all of his powers, so I will never talk to anyone like I know for a fact what he can and can't do, or what he sees, or what all that he knows, you know, things like that. So I'm just, like, I literally believe in God based off the fact that it's almost just like being thankful for your parents, you know? Like, you know, you didn't get here on your own. And it's like, they even had parents, and without them, there would be no you. And without the parents before them, there will still be no you, and so forth and so forth and so forth. And you go all the way back to, you know, the original creator, whatever that is, or whoever that is, whatever it or he or she may look like, you know what I'm saying? And you have to go back to be like, you know, I'm thankful for that being, because none of this would be possible, you know? So that's the reason why I believe in God. I don't believe in God because, oh, I hope to go to this magical place called heaven one day, you know, and where I'm reunited with all my loved ones that I've lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not bribed into believing in God, if that makes any sense. I think that works for a lot of people, you know? It's like, I have a line too, I say, would you still be loyal to God if he didn't promise you heaven? And it's like somebody be like, what are you loyal to this person for? What are you loyal to this person for? And there's a lot of people that they just work that way. Like, even they do that with kids. Like, oh, it's your 8th grade year, you want to graduate. At the end of the year, we go on this 8th grade field trip. In order to go on this 8th grade field trip, you have to be behaving yourself, or you can't get suspended all year, or whatever, you know? So now this kid may not be being his true self because he wants to bite his tongue, or he wants to act how they tell him to act instead of how he truly wants to act. You know what I'm saying? Or say the things that he truly wants to say that could possibly get him in trouble or possibly get him suspended. And it's like, this is the bribe to keep the kid in order. And it's the same thing that I think goes on with this Bible thing, or you know how even in the movie Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy, they talk about the boom boom room. Like, we have just as much proof of heaven as the boom boom room. You know, like, we have just as much proof as, you know, Jesus as Santa Claus. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I've heard people say things like, oh, well, it's documented that Jesus, like, when we talk about what is documents, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's documented that this man raped this lady, and then 63 years later, he's getting released from prison because he was innocent the whole time. They just found out he was innocent, but it was documented for 63 fucking years that he did that. So, and then I just watch a lot of shit, you know, Game of Thrones, Vikings, all that type of shit, and you just see things where people would lie and document things. You know, I'm gonna make sure your name is never talked about in the history, you know, ever, blah, 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 blah. Or I'm gonna spread this lie over and over until it becomes the God-given truth. You know what I'm saying? It's people that was doing that. You know what I'm saying? You had kings that was running shit that was summoning people to write history, you know, because they didn't know how to write yet. So they would go summon somebody, and if you didn't write it, I can have you killed and fetch me somebody else that can read and write a little bit, and tell them to come here and tell them, I want you to write this. I want you to write that I did this and I did that, when really I'm stealing somebody else's credit. Like, these are things that was going on back in the day because there were no camcorders and pictures, anything to show this proof. So it's just like, whoever is ruling, whoever is winning, which was usually the bad guy, because the bad guy never has any honor or rules, you know what I'm saying? They get to write the history. So if they want to dress this shit all up and make it look like they're the good guy, or, you know, they were the strongest warrior or whatever the hell, or the greatest husband or the greatest brother, and don't tell about how they cheated or how they backstabbed and was raping villages of women and all this other type of stuff, then we won't hear about it because they were in full control of it, you know. So I think a lot of people just gotta understand too that when you see in a movie or reading a book or watching a video, you are watching a presentation, and a presentation means something was prepared. You know, you're not watching the bloopers and the behind the scenes things, you know what I'm saying? So something was prepared, something was cut out, something was edited for it to be dressed up and look the way that you're receiving it, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't understand those things when they read books or watch movies and things like that, you know, or even just see rappers like, you know, man, you know, the guns is all in the video and blah, 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 you know, but he's going back to his peaceful family, you know what I'm saying? He's not living that life anymore, you know what I'm saying? And some rappers won't tell, you know, their fans or their listeners that, you know what I'm saying? Like how they've graduated from that and they don't have to live like that every day anymore, you know? So that's just kind of what it is.
You do believe in God, but do you associate yourself with a religion?
No, I don't associate myself with a religion. I just feel like even when they talk about Jesus and the thing, a lot of people don't know Jesus was of no religion, you know? And I tell my auntie this. I have a lot of conversations with my auntie. She's a big Christian, super into the Bible. And I say, you know, she has a son named Raymond, you know, my little cousin. And I say, you know, he's about to be a freshman in high school. I say, if you tell Raymond, I want you to be just like your father, and your father never joined a gang. You know, I want you to follow the exact footsteps of your father. And then as soon as Raymond goes to school, he joins a gang and say, but Mom, this is the gang that claims they follow the footsteps of my father. It's like, are you not getting that and understanding that? You think you're following Jesus, but he was of no religion, but you're of a religion that claims that they're following, you know what I'm saying, Jesus. It's like a lot of people don't understand that. And another thing I was telling her too is like, if you're according to the Bible, it says, don't put your faith in men. You know, don't put your faith in man, meaning man, woman. You know, don't put your faith in man. He will fail you every time. So let's just say we're talking about males. Don't put your faith in man. He will fail you every time. It sounds like they're talking about a man. Now, but then they talk about King James. It's King James Version. It's over 133 English versions of the Bible. So we're going to go with King James Version. Is King James a man? Yes, he is. Would you be putting your faith in him if you allow him to deliver you the story of his version? I'm pretty sure that's called putting some type of faith in him. Does his book say don't put your faith in man? Does his book also say that it's written by multiple people? You know, Mark and Jacobs and Johns and blah. These are men. You study putting your faith in men, but you're doing exactly what the book said not to do, and it said they will fail you every time. So to me, it's almost like it's things that I do agree with in the Bible and things that do make sense and things I don't agree with, like condoning slavery and whipping your slave, but not whipping them to death and things like that. And it's like you have to be mindful of, people looked at this book as if it was power. You know, like, oh, so if I put this in that, people are going to believe it and really rock with it. Like, so that's a powerful thing to have, to get your hands on and be able to insert whatever you want to insert in there, you know? So I just think a lot of people just, you know, want to, you know, when you love something so much, you know, that's something that's given from your parent, it could mean so much to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, your parent gave you this necklace, let's say, and it means something because of who it's from. It might be a $10 necklace. You don't even know. Somebody might put a gun to your head and say, give me this necklace. And then you say, you know, you willing to lose your life over this necklace. You know, my mom gave it. And your mom might be looking down from heaven, if that's even a thing. Or if your mom was right there and saw it, she might say, if you don't give up that fucking necklace, it was $10 fucking dollars. Fuck that necklace. You know, keep your life. I don't give a damn about that damn necklace. You know, like, be smart, you know, and the religion is kind of almost like that. You know, as a kid, we're growing up, we have this loving parent that cooks for us, clean for us, does all these things. And so we think, you know, they know better than us and they would never feed us any bullshit. Even though we grew up eating all type of bullshit like McDonald's, even though they bought it for us, they didn't know what we know about McDonald's today, you know? So just things like that. And it's like, when it's given to you, you almost love it because of you love the person that it's from, you know? And it's hard to break that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't just give up this chain because my mama gave me this chain. You know, and some people, I can't give up this religion because not only did my mom, introduce me to this religion, but she felt very strongly about it. Like, she felt more strong about this religion than she did about the damn chain. So I'm not going to break what she felt strongly about, because I feel like I might be, being a disservice to her or, or disappointing her, you know what I'm saying, if I was to, part ways with this religion or think for myself, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the thing that a lot of people go through, is just not understanding. I think we talked about that in my last interview about, you're supposed to grow older and become a greater version than your parent, a greater version of your parent, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to learn them. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have access to way more knowledge than our parents and grandparents had. So you are meant to be the next greater and best version of them. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of people don't grow up in life thinking that. It's some people that, you're supposed to always respect your parents, but it's some people that kind of keep themselves down to where it's like, oh, if my mama says this, I won't, say anything back just out of respect. You know what I'm saying? Or I won't never go against her just out of respect. You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking at it like, it's okay to teach your mother something. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to come to her with some things that she may not have known. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all can sit down together and you show her what you just found out or what you just learned. And, y'all build together and learn new things together, But it's really all a perspective of things. But that's just how I feel. I'm of no religion. I believe in God. I feel like anything spiritual. I think a lot of people would like to even throw the spiritual word around. And it's like, spiritual is a connection between the creator and what he created. Like, I don't need this camera to be, connected with God. I don't need you to be connected with God. I don't need this book to be, connected with God. And I say that in my song Souvenir. And I say, to be spiritual, that's a connection between the creator and what he created. In order for it to grow, all it needs is God's rain, like a tree. You can't tell a tree how to be a tree. In order for it to grow, all it needs is God's rain. And they call the rain of the people our tears when we cry. That's a rainy day. That's our rain. And when you water a flower, it grows. And usually that's what makes us grow as people. When we suffer and go through pain and, bad feelings and sad feelings and emotions and we cry and we're done, we mold and kind of grow from it. You know what I'm saying? Whether we're growing into this evil, mad person or we're growing into a stronger person like we should. You know what I'm saying? We should grow stronger from these things. But it makes us tougher and it makes us better, you know what I'm saying? And, you water the plant, and it grows into this strong tree, you know what I'm saying, one day. And it's growing exactly how God intended it to grow. It's like, oh, this tree doesn't need a book about how to be a tree. This fish is flowing the way God intended it to be. It doesn't need a book of how to be a tree and how to, treat each other and things like that, So it's like we're the only people that really come up with these ideas and these lies for each other, and just in order to control each other, you know what I'm saying? And like I say, people can fuck everything up. Like, we got a bomb, they can blow up the whole earth. Like, for what? Why do we have that? Like, that's proof that people can fuck up anything. Like, one lie, can break up a happy home. You know what I'm saying? If it's believed. That's what's so fragile and big and heavy about the word believe. You know what I'm saying? One lie can break up a happy home. One lie can turn a brother against his brother. One lie can turn a mother against her child, if it's believed and if it's delivered right or by the right person who is good at acting or deceiving or, manipulating things and stuff like that, the minds of people, And I think I got a line, one of my songs on my Rap God album coming out when I say, you'll believe anything if your mind is weak. Like, you have to be that child, that sibling that can go and ask a question for yourself. Let me ask for myself before I just judge this person. Like, if I never knew you, how fair would I be to you if I said, you need to stop being so fucking jealous? You'd be like, dude, you don't even fucking know me. Or if I never knew you and I say, I know everything that you want out of life, you're gonna be like, dude, you don't know shit, you don't know what I want. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a human and if I don't know what all you want, how the fuck can I go tell somebody else, oh, God want this, God want that? I can see you with my own eyes and I can't tell nobody what you want when I never met you and sat down and talked to you. We can't see God with our own eyes, nor have we sat down and had a conversation with him and heard his list of everything that he wants. And according to the book, it says, all he has to do is say, and it is. Let there be light, and it is. If he doesn't want a devil, why wouldn't he just say, let the devil be no more? If he wanted everybody to be Christians, why wouldn't he just say, let everybody be Christians? So it does sound like he doesn't want it as bad as he wanted light. I even talked about before the possibility of God might be dead. And some people are like, oh, I never thought about that. And I say, like, me and a woman can create a child, right now. We can have sex, create a child. 9 months later, this baby is born. I might die sometime between those 9 months, never see my child. My child should be able to live and grow old enough to know that, oh, I had a dad, just like everybody else had a dad, And it's like, just because I'm your creator doesn't mean I get to outlive you. That doesn't mean I live forever because I fucking created you. So God may have an expiration date just like our parents and their parents had expiration dates. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, that's why I say I would never tell people what God's powers is. Because I don't know if he sees everything. I don't know if he sees popes doing child pornography and molesting kids every single day, and he's sitting up there just watching it like, oh, it's going exactly as I planned. When we think about God's plan and people think everything is going as his plan, I like to tell people this. What do we know about, based off the Bible, what do we know about God's plan in the past? Why was Noah's Ark created? Because things wasn't going as he planned. So he said, scratch that. This is the new plan. We're going to kill everybody, wipe everybody out, take 2 of everything, take them over. So if his plans wasn't going right then, does all this bullshit that's happening today sound like his plans is going as planned? What do we know about plans? All things don't go as planned. That's what we know. And it's like, so people just, they'll take God, and I feel like a lot of people are just inconsiderate about his feelings and judging him. Everything. He's a jealous God. He wants this. He don't want that. Blah, 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 blah. He can't do that. I heard people say he can't, like, it's something that, what the Bible say he can't do something, or he can't take something back, and all this other type of shit. But, it is what it is. Whatever floats people's boats. Sometimes a lie can help ease some people's pain. Sometimes people do need to hear, hey, man, it's going to be all right, even though it's really fucking not. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what works for them, if that keeps them sane and calm and at peace, then, that's all for them. I'm not really here to take that away from anybody.
Even though you don't associate yourself with a religion, even though you do question the book, why do you believe in God or a God?
So I think I kind of answered that, but also, like I said, if I have a child, and I pass away, like he should be able to grow and live life long enough to become intelligent enough to know that it takes 2 to create. Even some moms might lie to the kid and say, hey, you don't got no daddy, I'm your mama and your daddy. But at some point in time, this kid will grow old enough to know, oh, okay, so I did have a dad. My mom must have been in her feelings or whatever the hell. Or, damn, maybe my mom don't even know who my dad is. Or, some women can go to the point of lying, your daddy's in jail, your daddy died, and they may not know who the fuck he is, But the fact that he shouldn't live long enough to become smart enough to know that he had a father, and his father had a father, and his father had a father, and his father had a father. So that's the reason why I believe in God, because I feel like it goes back to some original thing, whether it looks like me and you, whether it's black or white, or whether it looks like an ape, or whether it looks like a praying mantis. Whoever was the original creator, like, that's who I'm thankful for. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I believe. I don't believe in God because I'm trying to get to the boom boom room called heaven. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in God because, I don't want this to end, and I want my soul and energy to live on forever, or come back as another species, or, anything. Like, I can embrace the end. And, like, I feel like I gave it my all in life. I feel like I was a good father, a good brother, a good son. I feel like I shared my light, with the people around me, my fans, and I uplifted people. And, I feel like that's how people will talk about me when I'm gone, and I appreciate the ride on this merry-go-round, God, because I talked to Tally of 300 a few times about the afterlife, and he was saying that he thinks it's a second life. And I said, I don't, He was like, if it's not a second life, then what would this life be for? So I thought about that, and I was like, maybe it's just for the evolution of humanity. Like, how did you use your life to add to the evolution of humanity? Who did you help? Because when you look at the water doesn't drink itself. That's for us. When you look at the sun, it doesn't shine light for itself. That's for us. In our bodies and things like that. The trees don't breathe air for themselves. It's for us. We're the only ones that come around being selfish with shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to give off to uplift somebody, even if it's just your kids or just your brother. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. It's a blessing when you can uplift a village or, a whole fan base of people, things like that. So that's just what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? I recently had to part ways with a friend of mine after like 15 years, and it's just that the energy and stuff around us, I just felt like it just outgrew itself as far as like I'm never sensing or getting any, motivation or positivity from this person. It's just always negativity, so I just told him straight up, like a man, like we, go our separate ways. I wish you the best, I hope God bless you to the fullest, new chapter and, peace, so that's what it was. But, you got to protect your energy, in life, you know what I'm saying? And just be cautious of the company that you keep, And so yeah, that's basically the why I believe in God. All this stuff that's possible, like it had to start somewhere. Even if he's not living and he's not looking down over us no more, and he did have an expiration date and he did die, I'm coming with that same energy. I can praise him the same type of way because when it goes back, if it didn't start with you, we would be nothing. We would have nothing. So this ride on the merry-go-round, I appreciate it. I told Tally, I said, if you put your kid on the merry-go-round and they go around a couple of times, and after that 1-2 minutes, and then it stops, and you take them off, and they're kicking and screaming, saying, "Oh, I want to get back on," can they say to you, "What was the point of putting me on there?" Like, no, I put you on there so you can enjoy the ride. But we have to make room for those that's coming after you. Just like we had to make room, the people before you had to make room for you. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about being fair. Life is not about being fair. Some people get their turn on the ride on the merry-go-round. Some people don't get the ride as long as others. You know what I'm saying? And that's what life is. But don't ever feel like because it came to an end that it wasn't a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Kobe Bryant's career came to an end before his life. That he can't say, "Oh, why is Father Time doing this to me? What was the point of, letting me be so great in the first place?" It's like, dude, the end doesn't always have to be a scary thought. The end can be beautiful sometimes. You know what I'm saying? The end can be, it's a closing of a chapter. My child, some people don't have some people can't create children. You know what I'm saying? And there's some people that can, do that. And it's like, that's a new chapter in your life. That's a new chapter of you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, the book always goes on, you know what I'm saying? And those who, some people are not into having kids, you know what I'm saying? So, and I just feel like that's a kind of a sad thing because that's like the greatest gift you can give, in life is like, that's when you get to be God, actually. You know what I'm saying? You get to create life. And I don't know, I'm just, it has to do with just being thankful to me at the end of the day. I don't want anything. God doesn't owe me anything. I don't need to be reunited with my family, with my love, my ancestors, none of that. Like I'm thankful for everything of my whole walk,
What are your thoughts on aliens? Extraterrestrial life?
I feel like this. I feel like it's a 50-50 thing with me as far as the UFO, all that type of stuff. But why I don't exit out is because it's like, imagine if all we know is us. And then all of a sudden, one day at the age 25, we see a monkey and then a gorilla. Like, we would call that a fucking alien because we're not familiar with it. When we're not used to something or haven't seen something, that's when we get creeped out or we get scared. They say people fear what they don't know or fear what they don't understand. So when we're kids and we see these books and it's like, oh, a giraffe, oh, an elephant. Now it's becoming normal to us. We never see in a book, oh, that's an alien with a big ass light bulb head and these big eyeballs. So it's like we never see that. So when we do, if we were to see that, it's like everybody would be freaked out. But it's like it's introduced to you, and when your teacher introduces these giraffes and elephants and zebras and things to you, it's introduced to you and they're not panicking. You see what I'm saying? So that keeps you calm, and it's like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we learned about this in school. We learned about this. Oh, I saw this, on a cartoon and blah, 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 So it's just a normal thing. I just feel like if you go look at a house, if you just ride down the street, a block full of houses, you're going to guess that somebody probably lives in those houses, right? Like it's probably life in those houses. So when we look and see things like planets, like what the fuck is going on planet Earth? A lot of life. So if you mean to tell me you see these other planets and you think no life is going on there, it's just a fucking planet that just came out of no fucking where? Like, it would probably make sense to have that there's life there too that you just may not know about. And even when you read books, first grades, you go through 1st through 8th grade, and it's like you know so much, but you have so much more to learn in high school. You go through high school, you got so much more to learn in college. Like, there is no limit on knowledge. There's no such thing as a know-it-all. So you best believe it's places out there that you have no knowledge about yet. You see what I'm saying? And it's like when you don't have, we meet people sometimes, we can meet a friend and be like, man, when I heard their life story, it's like, I didn't even know people went through that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like it's just so much out there that we don't know about, or we don't have enough life to live. Average life, whatever, if we live to 60, 70, 80 years old, like, that's still not enough time to learn everything that we could possibly know about life in general itself, or wherever life, dwells or is moving at. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how I feel about
it. In the chain of order where you have, microorganisms, and then you have insects, and then you have, animals, and then you have humans, it seems like it's a ladder. It's like something bigger, something that takes over something else.
Right.
Do you think it stops at human, or do you think there could be something that is bigger than a human or can overtake a human on another planet, in outer space, that we may or may have not encountered yet?
Yeah, I think it's things like that we may or may not have encountered. It probably might stop with humans on Earth. And I think that we're smart enough and have built enough weapons to, if we come across it or ever has came across it, probably became classified and probably instantly killed, before it can, make, you can see a mouse in the house, or, and you like, or a spider, it's like you're trying to stop it from laying eggs to create more, or you have this fear of that happening, you know what I'm saying? So you try to kill it instantly. And I think it's just like that. I feel like, if we were to, how people say Black Lives Matter, and then some people out there get offended and say, what next? No, all lives matter. So if a dog dies and I post Dog Lives Matter because my dog just died, how many people are going to say, no, it doesn't, all lives matter? Nobody's going to say that, because you understand that I'm saying dogs' lives too. So people aren't stupid, you know what I'm saying? They try to act like that. So if you're really so much about all lives matter, then you can ask that same person, do you eat chicken? Or do you eat fish? They're dead. Did their lives not matter? Now with that being known, are you going to stop eating chicken and fish? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you don't even believe in what you say. You're just trying to combat that I said Black Lives Matter. So even you have to just be careful of who you even argue with or debate with sometimes, because some people aren't debating with you to understand you. Some people just want to find anything to combat what you're saying, and so I just kind of look at things like that, like, with, let me see, how can I say this?
Take your time.
I think if it was anything out there that was smarter than us and bigger than us, what do you think it would do to us? It would probably try to eat us or kill us, and that's what we do to everything that's smaller than us. We kill the mouse, we kill the roach, we kill the spider, we kill the ants, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. We kill the lightning bugs and things like that. We kill other things and eat it. We kill the lobster. We kill, you know what I'm saying? It's like we're the ones that's this big monster. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and it's normal to us. We can go on without a conscience after doing those things, So, people can be like, oh, but when you meet another monster that's bigger than you, that's treating you and everything else the same way, it's like now you see life from the perspective of that chicken. Now you see the life from the perspective of that fish that was just minding his business, swimming with his family, looking for food. Because that's what you was doing, going to the grocery store, such and such, such and such. All of a sudden, this big, monster creature came out of nowhere and just attacked you for no reason that you say, you know what I'm saying? Or snatched your family member up for no reason. And it's like, the reason is it was hungry, just like you ate that chicken because you was hungry, and all lives don't matter to you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just certain shit like that. When people can put themselves in other people's shoes, they can look at life a lot differently. I think a lot of people are just naturally biased. Period. And that's basically it.
You do think outside the box. What is your take on conspiracy theories?
I feel like it's like kind of 50-50 thing with me too. Like really it's just depending on where it's at. You got some people that can look into things, too much, or certain clues can throw somebody off. But when it's revealed, it's like, oh, I can see why you would have thought that way, or that veered you in that direction. You could take a GPS and one wrong turn can leave you, in a place of never returning. It's like almost even getting in the maze, It's like, you made all the right turns, but the one wrong one is what fucked you up. You know what I'm saying? One wrong turn, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just kind of like that, like almost you have to have confirmation before you go on to the next. And you just got some people that just get to rolling 100 miles an hour, like, oh, how is that even possible? Blah, 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 and it's going like, well, you went so far deep into it without no proof along the way. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of your assumptions are in there, and it doesn't always not make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's just sometimes you have to have enough respect for people or things to give it the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? So I think they're interesting. Sometimes, a lot of times, things that you hear might be out of the box too. Some of the conspiracy theories, but it's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense and just mind-boggling shit. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people are dealing with, when you're dealing with money, you're dealing with a motherfucker that got options. You know what I'm saying? So when you got a group project or a group of people, I feel like things always get interesting for alternative events or anything that has to deal with classified information. Is like, that's kind of like some of the best shit that can really possibly be off. You know what I'm saying? To be voicing and talking about. You know what I'm saying?
When it comes to conspiracy theories, are there some conspiracy theories, and you don't have to say which ones if you don't want to, but are there some conspiracy theories you truly believe in that are out there?
I saw one on TV. It was like the, I don't know what they call it, the area, something, I don't know what number it is, with the little, to make it look like motherfucker was on Mars and all that type of shit, but they got the whole ground made just like how it is in the picture and shit like that. And I could see that being a fake thing, or just something to teach or brag about, or say you're the first person to do this and first person to do that. I even thought about, even all the planets might be fucking fake. You know what I'm saying? I saw a lot of pictures, and it's like a lot of the pictures that we see of these different planets look like computerized pictures. They don't look like photographs, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes we've seen these pictures, it's like, how's a picture taken and I can see multiple planets, close enough to each other when they're, hundreds and thousands of miles away, and, we're not seeing a satellite thing floating around. We're not seeing a star in between, you know what I'm saying? Just like, so a lot of this shit could just be set up, or, just some cool, like, I don't even believe too much in zodiac shit really like that. I feel like all of that shit could just match any and everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's just a fun thing people like to play with, and it's really an unfair way of prejudging people, before you actually get to know them. So I hate when people are like, oh, what's your sign, and blah, 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 blah. So you can prejudge me, And it's like, I would never put all of anything in a category. Like, I would never be like, oh, all white people are racist. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not the case. All black people like chicken. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the case. Like, Tally don't even like chicken, But, I'd never put all of anything. All Pisces are like this. All women like men with beards. Or, I would never say all of anything. You know what I'm saying? All Scorpios is like, nah, you should be fair and sit down with that person and get to learn them and see who they are for yourself before you be like, oh, they're this, and throw them in this category, Yeah.
When you mentioned earlier in the conversation, there was somebody that you split with, that you had a relationship with for 15 years, a friend you mentioned. Was this a recording artist?
No.
Okay.
No, it wasn't, yeah.
No one in the music side of things?
No.